So Ashton H2O Sylve, Lucas Bahdi was a good fight last night. To be honest with you, I was sitting back looking at it. I had two fights on, and the energy I seen from Sylve, it seemed like he was a little too comfortable. Like he was sitting on all his punches. He was standing in the pocket, wasn't moving around, no head movement. He was just strictly walking forward. I'm telling you what I was seeing from the beginning of the fight. He was dominating his punches from start to end. He was dominating. Didn't get hit much. But the times he did get hit, it was too much. It was the punches were too big. Lucas was on it too much. Like the punches he was throwing, the impact that Sylve was doing, he was not really moving around, man. Like even when he got caught later on, he was standing in the pocket. I'm talking about way too long, straight up, to the point where he could not maneuver around or move. His feet were like just stuck in sand at certain times. And I don't like when guys are at 140 and things like that and they fight like a heavyweight. That's a bad sign to me. Not saying that he did. He fought excellent throughout the fight. He just got caught with two bad shots. But what I will say is the urgency, the sense of urgency was not there. As far as, it's almost like to a point where you got to be paranoid. Like, that will happen. That is a boxing match. So, Lucas hit him with some good punches, man. Hit him with a left hook and a right hook. And got him up out of there. And it was some excellent punches. Sylve was dominating from the first to the fifth round. In the sixth round, he was still doing some things. He wasn't completely dominating because I felt like he was being a little too aggressive. And you got to realize, he was being aggressive and not throwing many punches. He wasn't throwing like, let me throw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He was throwing like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And it wasn't enough to actually counter what Lucas was doing. And he got caught, man. It was a bad look. It was a devastating knockout. I'm talking about after Sylve was dominating from the first round to the fourth, then the fifth round, and then you come out around the sixth, and you're basically doing everything you can, and this guy just comes out. Because Sylve, he caught him with a huge punch, but Lucas threw one at the same time. Boom. Then comes around again. Boom. And drops him. I'm talking about a huge punch. You know how Jake Paul knocked out Tyron Woodley? It was a little worse than that. Because the way when he fell, it was like he wasn't moving at all. He was on his stomach. His head was to the side, but he wasn't moving his arms. I think his feet might have even been crossed or something like that. So it was a devastating knockout, man. I was actually thinking that Sylve was gonna, but I knew that it was gonna be a hard fight. I knew it was. Because when they changed the fight from him and Floyd Schofield to someone else, I realized then, I said, they're going to try to put him in there with a guy who's a lot tougher than people realize. He might not be tough to me or you, but they're gonna find a big name for him. And they found a very big name for him. And it didn't work out for him. And he had some bad luck on that. And he ended up getting dropped and losing. And I definitely feel like that was a fight that could have been, it could have been really pushed to the limit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at what Sylve was doing, he was letting this guy basically stay fresh the whole fight because, yes, the guy was getting beat up, but he wasn't using enough punches to the point where this guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't punch himself out. Sometimes you got to let these guys punch themselves out. Or you got to do enough damage to their body to where they can't lift their arms up. Yes, was he winning on points? He was. Was he damaging him to the point where he was going to stop him? Not in my mind. I feel like he was playing with his food too much. But the way he was being aggressive, being aggressive is not chasing somebody on the front foot all the time. You know what I'm saying? You can be aggressive by just turning, using angles, punching to the body, then going upstairs. Just switching things up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and doing more of it. But I think guys like just following people around, like you Canelo, like y'all not Canelo. A lot of you guys are tall. A lot of you guys don't have head movement. So I wouldn't really. I don't know. It was a great performance. Destroyed by a devastating knockout. Probably one of the knockouts of the year. Most definitely. It was definitely like Chris Colbert and Rayo to that point, but it was a little nastier than that because he was knocked out by the time before he even hit the ground. So that was a huge knockout. But I don't know, man. Congratulations to Lucas Bahdi. He was very excited. He felt like Sylve was a very interesting and promising prospect and fighter who's coming up. He felt like he was doing an excellent job in the fight. He just caught him. He knew that, the guy would feel bad because just how good he fought in the fight. But yeah, he got caught, man. It is what it is. It happens sometimes, and that's the great thing about boxing. Anything can happen. But congratulations to him. Sylve gonna have to bounce back from this one, but I know he will. He's a very good fighter. Sometimes, man, these losses like this will help these guys out more than the wins early on in their career. So this might be the best thing that happened to him as far as a learning lesson in his career. Because I can pretty much guarantee that once something like this happens early on in your career, it'll probably never happen again. So we'll see, man. I feel like he did a good job in the fight. And that was one of the highlights of the card as well. That was one of the best fights on the card. So it's definitely was great for the event. But that's all I got. Like and subscribe.